You watch another world die. It does not happen with fire. There is no glorious explosion or roar of planetary agony. The Vex do not believe in such theatrics. Their arrival is a creeping silence, a chill that seeps into the bones of a solar system. From your command bridge aboard the flagship Defiance, you see the planet Cygnus X1. It hangs in the view screen like a sapphire jewel. Then the Vex ships appear. They are not ships in any sense you understand. They are crystalline razors, impossibly thin. They glide through the void without propulsion. They arrange themselves in a perfect geometric lattice around the blue world. There is no communication, no demands, no threats. The Vex are a force of cosmic logic. They have judged this system and found it wanting. The process begins. A low hum vibrates through your ship's hull. It is a frequency that bypasses your vessel's dampeners. The hum resonates with the planet below. On the surface, you know what is happening. Every living thing, every blade of grass, every thinking creature is turning to crystal. The oceans solidify into jagged quartz. The continents shimmer, becoming vast plains of colored glass. Your fleet hangs back, a silent witness to the horror. Protocol demands you observe. You must gather data on this new, silent weapon. Your crew watches the screens. Their faces are pale masks of disbelief. This is the 7th world you have seen fall this way. Each time, the Vex method is the same. It is perfect, it is clean, and it is absolute. The crystal blight, your scientists call it. A plague of order upon the messy chaos of life. The planet Cygnus X1 is no longer a world. It is a monument to an unflinching, alien intellect. It is a gravestone of glass, beautiful and terrible. You turn away from the screen. Your own world is next. Every strategy has been tried. Every tactic has been exhausted. You have thrown fleets of your finest warships at them. You have used brilliant pincer movements. You have attempted ambushes in dense asteroid fields. You have deployed planet-cracking torpedoes. Each time, the result is the same. The Vex anticipate. They adapt. They flow around your attacks like water around a stone. Their logic is a fortress you cannot breach. Your admirals present their reports on the main bridge. Their faces are grim. The projections are not predictions. They are mathematical certainties. Admiral Jorik, a man with a face carved from granite, points to a display. Red icons representing your fleets blink against a tide of silver Vex symbols. They do not make mistakes, he says, his voice flat. They learn from every engagement. Faster than we can innovate. You study the board. It is a portrait of your own extinction. For every Vex vessel you destroy, they neutralize 3 of yours. They do not suffer losses. They reallocate assets. They are a single, thinking entity spread across thousands of ships. How do you fight an enemy that knows your next move before you do? Your best strategists have spent sleepless cycles running simulations. They have tried every gambit. They have even programmed for random, illogical actions. The Vex models account for it. They seem to understand chaos better than you do. Your species is based on individuality, on flashes of brilliance, on the occasional mad hero who tries something stupid that just might work. Against the Vex, that has never worked. Not once. You are staring at the logic of defeat. It is cold. It is clear. And it is coming for you. The numbers on the screen do not lie. Hope is not a factor in their equations. The Sol system is the last bastion. Your home, Earth. The final redoubt. The Vex fleet, a shimmering cloud of crystal shards, is now at the edge of the Oort cloud. They move with an unhurried, terrifying grace. They are not racing to their destination. They are simply arriving, as if it were a scheduled appointment. Your final defensive line is anchored around Jupiter, a web of minefields, defense platforms, and your last grand fleet. It is the most formidable concentration of military power in human history. Against any other foe, it would be an unbreakable wall. Against the Vex, it feels like paper. You stand on the observation deck of the Defiance. Jupiter looms outside, a swirling giant of gas and storm. Your ships drift in silent formation around it. Thousands of them, the best humanity has to offer. Yet, you feel no confidence. You feel only a profound sense of dread. Hope is a resource you have spent entirely. The news from the inner planets is tightly controlled. But you know the truth. Panic is beginning to brew on Mars. Earth is holding its breath. Every soul in the system is looking to you. They are looking to your fleet to perform a miracle. But miracles are born from chance, from a lucky break. The Vex do not permit luck. They are an engine of certainty. Your tactical officers move with quiet efficiency on the bridge. They are professionals. They will follow their orders to the last. They will fight and die according to the best plans you have. The problem is, your best plans are not good enough. You look at the star charts. The Vex advance is a clean, perfect line, a mathematical vector pointing directly at the heart of your civilization. They are coming, and you have no logical way to stop them. A whisper of an idea comes from the most unlikely source. Analyst second class, Ilara Vance. She is young, barely out of the academy. She works in the lower decks of the strategy division, the part that crunches raw data from forgotten listening posts. She requested a meeting, a highly unusual step for someone of her rank. You grant it, mostly out of a sense of obligation, or perhaps desperation. She stands before you on the command bridge, looking small and nervous. But her eyes hold a spark. It is a spark you have not seen in a long time. Grand Admiral, she begins, her voice trembling slightly. I have reviewed all 700 documented encounters with the Vex. You nod for her to continue. This is standard work. Every defeat shares a common element. We fought with logic. We used strategy. We relied on a central command structure. She takes a breath. The Vex are masters of that game. They analyze our command flow. They predict the logical response of a unified fleet. You lean forward. This is not the usual report. This is something else. She gestures to a data slate she is holding. But sir, their perfection is also their weakness. They are designed to fight organized enemies. She looks up, meeting your gaze directly. They have never fought a true mob. They have never faced an enemy without a brain to analyze. The concept hangs in the air. It is simple, it is elegant, and it is utterly insane. She is suggesting that humanity's only real advantage is not its intelligence, not its technology, not its courage. It is its capacity for pure, unadulterated chaos. The plan is given a code name, Project Anarchy. Ilara stands before your war council, a small figure in a room of giants. She lays it out with a calm that unnerves you. The idea is to sever all central command. Completely. You would use a single encrypted command, a kill switch for the entire command and control network. From the Grand Admiral down to the squadron leaders, every ship captain would be on their own. No orders, no strategy, no coordination. Just a single final objective broadcast to all of them. Survive and fight. You want to unleash thousands of individual captains? Admiral Jorik scoffs. To do whatever they see fit. It's madness. Ilara does not flinch. Yes, Admiral, that is precisely the point. The Vex can predict the actions of an army. They cannot predict the individual actions of 10,000 captains, each acting on instinct, desperation, and their own personal brand of genius or folly. She points to a simulation she has prepared. It is not like the others. It is a swirl of unpredictable vectors, a storm of chaos. The Vex logic engine will be overloaded, she explains. It will search for a pattern that does not exist. It will look for a commander who is not there. It will try to solve an equation that has no answer. The plan is terrifying. It means abandoning centuries of military doctrine. It means placing the fate of humanity into the hands of thousands of individuals. You would be trusting them to fight not as a cohesive fleet, but as a swarm of angry hornets. You have to admit, there is a certain human poetry to it. It is a gamble of the highest order. It is an embrace of your species' greatest strength and its most profound weakness, its wild, untamable spirit. Your war council calls it strategic suicide. The debate is brief and brutal. Admiral Jorek stands, his fists clenched. We are the guardians of humanity. We are defined by our discipline, by our order. You are asking us to throw that away for a child's fantasy. His words echo the sentiment of the entire room. These are men and women who have dedicated their lives to structure, to the chain of command, to the cold, hard logic of warfare. Alara's proposal is an insult to everything they believe in. Another council member, Fleet Mother Shanti, speaks, her voice calm but firm. Analyst, we have protocols for a reason. Command decapitation is the enemy's goal. You are suggesting we do it to ourselves. She shakes her head slowly. We cannot trade order for a mad gamble. We will fight as we have trained. We will fight with honor. The vote is unanimous. Project Anarchy is rejected. The Council affirms their existing strategy. They will meet the Vex at the Titan defense grid with full military discipline. They will execute their plans perfectly. You listen to their judgment. You see the logic in it. It is the sensible path, the responsible path. To do otherwise would be to abandon your duty. Yet, a cold knot of certainty forms in your gut. They are wrong. Their logic is the very thing the Vex are counting on. Alara is escorted from the room. She glances back at you one last time. There is no anger in her eyes, only a quiet, profound sadness. The Council has made its decision. They have chosen the familiar path, the path that has led to 7 dead worlds. The battle for Titan begins exactly on schedule. The Vex fleet flows into the system. A river of silver death. The Titan defense grid, your great wall, opens fire. Lasers score across crystalline hulls. Torpedoes detonate in silent flashes of light. For a moment, it looks like a real fight. But it is just an illusion. The Vex formations part and reform. They absorb the initial onslaught with calculated precision. They are not fighting you. They are solving you. The Council's battle plan unfolds on the main view screen. Every move you make is countered instantly. Perfectly. Your ships fire in coordinated volleys. The Vex shift their resonant frequencies, deflecting the energy. Your squadrons attempt flanking maneuvers. The Vex simply reposition a fraction of their fleet, cutting them off. It is like watching a grandmaster play chess against a novice who thinks they are a genius. Admiral Jorich's voice is tight over the command channel. Adjust fire patterns. Concentrate on their lead element. The orders are logical, they are sound, and they are utterly useless. The Vex do not have a lead element. They are all the lead element. The Titan defense grid falls apart piece by piece. The Vex do not smash it. They dismantle it. They find the key nodes, the central relays, the command centers. They neutralize them with surgical strikes. Within hours, the grid is silent. Your fleet, now exposed, begins to take heavy losses. The Council's cold logic has failed utterly. It has failed just as Alara's data predicted. It has failed because it was predictable. You watch as red icons wink out on the tactical display. Each one a ship, each one a crew, lost to an enemy that is simply better at your own game. You are alone on your command deck. The Council is gone, recalled to an emergency bunker on Earth. They left you with one final grim order. Hold the line to the last man. Give Earth time to evacuate key personnel. It is a death sentence, not just for you, but for the entire fleet. You watch the remnants of your forces fight and die around the moons of Saturn. They are following their orders, dying with discipline. But they are not buying time. They are just dying. You look at the tactical display. The Vex are moving on, past the wreckage, onward to Mars, onward to Earth. Ilara's rejected proposal sits on your private console. Project Anarchy, strategic suicide, a mad gamble. But the Council's sanity has brought you to this point. Their order has led to ruin. What is the greater madness? To follow a logical plan to your certain doom? Or to embrace a chaotic chance at survival? You look out at the stars, at the silent, perfect enemy advancing on your home. You think of the thousands of captains out there, each one a spark of human unpredictability. Scared, brave, reckless, brilliant. You will give the order that damns them or saves them all. You stand. You walk to the main command interface. Your crew looks at you, their faces etched with exhaustion and despair. They expect you to issue orders for a final, hopeless stand. They expect you to command them, to die with honor. You place your hand on the activation panel. The system asks for your command code. You speak it into the microphone. Your voice is steady. Execute command code, Anarchy. Authorization, Grand Admiral. The computer's voice is calm. Command Anarchy confirmed. This will sever all fleet command and control networks. This action is irreversible. Confirm. You take one last look at your disciplined, dying fleet. Confirm, you say. You will give them one last order, the order to be free. A wave of silence washes over the bridge. It is not the silence of space. It is a new, deeper silence. The main tactical display flickers. The neat, orderly lines connecting your ships to your command vanish. The entire network map goes dark. Green icons representing your vessels are now scattered and isolated. They are no longer a fleet. They are just ships. On your personal console, you see the single message that was broadcast to every human vessel in the system. It was the last message sent before the network died. Command structure dissolved. All standing orders rescinded. Sole objective: survive. Fight. Win. Good luck. You have done it. You have cut the leash. You have unleashed humanity upon the void. Your bridge crew stares at the blank screens. A communications officer turns to you, his face pale. Sir, I have nothing. No contact with any ship. You nod. That is the point, Lieutenant. The bridge is quiet. The hum of the ship is the only sound. You have committed the ultimate act of military heresy. You have destroyed your own army to save it. For a long moment, nothing happens. The Vex fleet continues its inexorable advance. Did you make a mistake? Did you just hasten your own end? Then, on the long-range sensors, you see it. The first sign. The Vex fleet, that perfect river of crystal, slows. It is not a dramatic halt. It is a subtle hesitation, a slight disruption in their flawless formation. The clean lines of their advance begin to waver. For the first time since this war began, the Vex have encountered something they did not expect. They have run into a void. Their logic engines are searching for the command signals of your fleet. They are trying to analyze your strategy. But there are no signals. There is no strategy. They are trying to predict the mind of a single commander. But there is no commander. There is only chaos. And for the VX, chaos is a variable they cannot compute. The first reports are not reports at all. They are fragments of data trickling in from automated sensor buoys. The main network is dark, but you can still see glimpses of what is happening. A lone destroyer, the Ares, presumed lost near Saturn's rings. It should have retreated. It should have followed protocol. Instead, its captain turned back. He plunged his ship into the rings, using the ice and rock as cover. He emerged behind a Vex cruiser, unleashing his entire torpedo payload at point-blank range. The Vex ship, its shields calibrated for a frontal assault, shattered. An impossible victory. A foolish, glorious, suicidal, successful act. This story repeats itself across the system. A freighter captain, armed with nothing but mining charges, rams a Vex scout ship. She turned her simple cargo hauler into a kinetic missile. A squadron of fighters, cut off from their carrier, does not surrender. They fly into the dense upper atmosphere of Jupiter. They lead the pursuing Vex deep into the storm clouds. The Vex ships, designed for the vacuum of space, are crushed by the pressure. The human fighters are lost too, but they traded 4 fighters for 20 Vex interceptors. A trade the Council's logic would have called insane. It was a victory. Your scattered ships win 1,000 impossible fights. They strike from the shadows of moons. They use asteroids as weapons. They push their engines to breaking points the Vex would deem illogical. They are no longer soldiers following orders. They are survivors guided by pure, desperate instinct. A junior officer on a medical frigate realizes the Vex ships are vulnerable to a specific harmonic frequency, a frequency her medical scanners can produce. She turns a ship of healing into a weapon of war. It is beautiful. It is terrifying. It is humanity, unbound. The Vex cannot predict the human swarm. Their models were built to counter a single, coordinated mind. An army. But you are not an army anymore. You are a force of nature, a plague of angry, unpredictable apes in metal boxes. The Vex fleets, once a flowing river, are now breaking apart. They're trying to respond to thousands of individual threats at once. Their perfect logic is fracturing under the strain. They see a threat from one direction, and as they turn to counter it, another ship attacks from their flank. They are being pecked to death by birds they cannot catch. It is like echoes of an ancient past. Back on Earth, long before starships, humanity faced predators stronger and faster than they were. They did not win by being stronger. They won by being clever, by being unpredictable, by working in small, chaotic groups that could outthink a larger foe. You have unleashed that primal instinct on a galactic scale. The Vex are the perfect predator, but they are hunting a creature that has changed the rules of the hunt. They came expecting chess. You have given them a riot. You need to gather the swarm, to focus this new, wild strength on a single point. Fighting as scattered individuals is winning battles, but it will not win the war. You need to set a trap, a lure. Using a single high-power transmitter on the Defiance, you prepare one last message. It is not an order. The time for orders is over. It is a suggestion, a piece of information planted into the chaotic system you have created. It must be simple. It must be tempting. It must be a target the Vex cannot ignore. Your communications officer looks at you, his brow furrowed. Sir, what is the message? You look at the star chart. You pick a point in empty space, a point just beyond the orbit of Pluto, near a dwarf planet named Proxima. There is nothing there. No strategic value, no resources. It is a perfect place for an ambush. The message will be a single coordinate, you say. And a simple tag? Vex primary logic core location. High probability. It is a lie. A blatant, childish lie. But it is a lie that speaks to both sides of this war. To your feral fleet, it will be a tempting target. A chance to strike at the heart of the enemy. A focal point for their rage and desperation. Many will ignore it. But many will come. They will come out of instinct, out of a shared, unspoken desire to end this. And to the Vex, their logic will compel them to investigate. They will know it is likely a trap. But the possibility, however small, that you have found their core, will force their hand. They must go. They must see. The lure is cast. You have invited the storm to a single point in space. They come from the dark side of Neptune, from the asteroid belt, from the burning emptiness near the sun. Your human ships converge on the coordinates you sent. They are not in formation. They arrive in a chaotic, staggered wave, a torrent of vessels, big and small. Fighters, freighters, destroyers, cruisers, a fleet of ghosts, reborn as a hurricane. The Vex are already there. They have gathered their main fleet, forming a perfect sphere of crystalline warships around the designated point. They are expecting a structured attack. They are ready to analyze and counter a command fleet. They find a maelstrom of fury. The human fleet does not engage with tactics. It simply crashes into the Vex formation. There is no central plan, only the individual will of thousands of captains. A cruiser captain vents his plasma core, creating a temporary star that blinds Vex sensors. Fighters fly in suicidal arcs, drawing fire so that larger ships can get close. A tiny scout ship flies directly into the maw of a Vex capital ship, detonating its reactor. It is not a battle. It is an explosion of pure, focused rage. The Vex sphere shatters. Their perfect geometry cannot hold against the sheer, multi-vector chaos of the assault. For every ship they destroy, 3 more attack from unpredictable angles. Their logic engine screams for data, for patterns, for a commander to analyze. It finds only white noise. It finds only the raw, untamable spirit of a species that has been pushed too far. You watch on your long-range sensors, a storm of light and fury, a beautiful, terrible dance of destruction. Humanity's madness has become its greatest weapon. The last Vex ship fractures into silent dust. The space around Proxima is filled with wreckage, both theirs and yours. The fury of the human swarm has burned itself out. The battle is over. On your screen, the isolated green icons of your ships begin to drift apart. Their purpose fulfilled, they disperse back into the void. They are a feral fleet still, perhaps forever. There is no cheering on your bridge, only a profound, exhausted silence. The silence of victory. It is a quiet, lonely sound. You look at the empty space where the Vex fleet used to be. You saved your species. You stood against the perfect logic of an elder race and you won. You did it by abandoning logic. You did it by trusting in the one thing the Vex could never understand. The glorious, unpredictable, and utter madness of the human soul. You are the admiral who destroyed his own fleet. You are the commander who won a war without giving a single order. You are the architect of the greatest victory in human history. And you are utterly, completely alone. You saved them all by embracing the chaos within.